think we might have Jamarl Thomas. Are you there? No, we're working. We are working. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I see. Jamarl Thomas, the one and only. All right, let's get going. We got 10 minutes or so left. So, Kursk.
Excellent.
What a disaster. And the best they can do, Jamarl, the best we got now is to call President Putin and say, please let him go in a war, which that's kind of not the way any war I've ever heard of worked throughout the history of humankind. And then Macron steps up to the plate. You ain't having that. Macron's like, look, step aside, Donald. Let me show you how this is done. Vladimir Putin, I demand that you let him go. And Putin's like, okay, yeah, sure, fine. Well, what are we to make of this? What are we to make of this, Jamarl Thomas?
Yeah, Putin is like, who are you? Who are you? Why are you here? Why are you talking to me? It's fascinating, right? Like Trump, like all of these generals. I mean, people need to remember, all of these generals on CNN were screaming at how great this was. Oh my God, Zelensky has shown once again that he can stick it to the Russians. And people like you and myself were saying this is a disaster. It's like, yeah, you embarrassed them. Fair enough. Good job. But those people are going to die, or those people are going to be pushed out. And Putin immediately came out and said, there will be no negotiations in regards to Kursk. And there will be no negotiations up to the point of Kursk. As you pointed out, Putin came out after Donald Trump effectively beseeched him. Please, sir, would you let these people go? He says, I'm empathetic. They can surrender or they can die. Now, he was far more diplomatic. Medvedev was the one who said, what he said, they will be mercilessly hunted down or something to that effect. And so the reality of it is that something that all of these people came out said was great. This is a fantastic idea. Has now led to their best troops being killed. 67,000, I believe, is the number that they gave for the number of people who have been killed. And the rest, whatever the number is, 10,000, 20,000 surrounded. And in being surrounded, have no way out. Hence Trump begging for their lives. It is astonishing. This will be a psychological break on some level. Like, meaning the fact that they were so gung-ho about this, they're going to have to deal with that, like in a psychological sense, right? And what that means internally for Ukraine, I don't know, but it is not a good look. And as I think you pointed out, those people are going to be, if they surrender, thousands marched, into a prison camp. And Putin did tell them, yes, we'll treat them empathetically, and they will be treated to the, what we're required to in the context of Geneva Convention, with the exception of the mercenaries who will be treated as terrorists. This is a horrible look, to put it mildly. If they get that general order for surrender, oh man, that is going to be horrendous. But I agree.
And if they don't, how about this? Go.
No, please.
If they don't, it's going to be horrendous. How about we do some comments? Number one, how about this? On YouTube, scan the QR code now and leave a comment on the YouTube stream. Keep it clean, and we'll read it out on air. # Mole says, I still don't get why Russia released Azov prisoners who then went straight back to killing Russians. Well, they, and if you remember, there was there were swaps for prisoners, so that happens. Number two, Esdeen M4 says 40 civilians killed in the latest U.S.-UK cruise missile strikes in Yemen, among them women and children. And Ufton Wood Jr. says, Garland and Jamal, an on-fire combination. Thank you very much. Well, the other thing is, how do you go back to the Russians are losing. I think Ukraine can win this. I mean, how do you revert to this narrative? You've been saying to the people of Europe, look, fair enough, you're losing your jobs. We're being deindustrialized. Our gas pipes being blown up by the United States. You're in Germany. You run a little short of schnitzel. Your baguettes in Paris. You can't buy as many as you used to. Things are kind of rough, but you have to do this because these plucky Ukrainians can surely take the Russians. And they're like surrounded, begging for their lives. How do you go back to, I think they can take the Russians?
Well, this has always been weird, right? Because under Obama, they said Russia's a gas station masquerading as a country. And then over the course of the war, Russia's run out of weapons, Russia's run out of missiles. This is a constant refrain. Simultaneously, oh my God, the Russians are going to kill us all. Like both of these things were existing weirdly enough simultaneously. Russia's going to take over all of Europe. Russia's going to kill everybody. Russia's going to take over Britain. Keir Starmer came out recently and said Russia's in our airwaves, in our waters, and on our streets. Like, I don't know how you get both, but that's the argument that they consistently make. I think that argument is off the table. I think they're at the point of saying, oh my God, this is a 1 million-man military that has been killing and dying for the last 3 years, and we are terrified. Please, Donald Trump, save our lives by keeping troops in. Weirdly enough, though, Keir Starmer and Macron are still talking about this coalition of the willing while simultaneously trying to get backstops. So it's like they're giving a backstop, but they want a backstop for their backstop. I do not know how you go back to, oh my God, Ukraine is winning. But you never know. There's always creativity, right? Creativity doesn't have to care about reality.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The Russians have more people surrounded right now in Kursk than France and Germany could put together for their so-called coalition of the willing. I mean, they would go right into a cauldron. Instead of putting them on the field, why don't we do it the easy way? Put them on a plane that says POW and ship them straight to Russia and let Russia put them in a POW camp. At least some of them will survive. The idea that you're going to send a bunch of guys who basically, what does the UK have for a military? A band of soccer hooligans could probably take these guys right now. They have no military. They do not have a legitimate military. And to argue, yes, I'm going to send my military. Where are they? Oh, they're around here somewhere. I'm not sure. I think I left them in the other room. You got no military. I'm just looking at these people and I'm saying, you have no credibility as a politician. You're not scaring Putin. You're just really embarrassing yourselves at this point.
Look, if the U.S. don't respect you, why would Putin respect you, right? And I say that to say, like, when you hear Vance go on, I believe he was talking to Maria Bartiromo, and they were talking about Greenland, and he was like, I don't care what Europe thinks. Europe can scream all they want. We don't care. And then when you get Root coming into the United States, and Trump is effectively berating him, well, I'm not going to say berating. He's humiliating him by effectively saying, yeah, we're going to take Greenland. And he is sitting here arguing with the position agreeing with the position, not agreeing with it, but not rebuting the fact that a U.S. president has just said they're going to take a European state. Like, this is outrageous. But this is the way that he deals with Europe. This is not the way that he deals with Russia. Meaning, they don't have hard power. Trump knows they don't have hard power. Putin knows they can't change the context of anything on the ground at this point. They have thrown everything at him for 3 years, and Russia's still there. And not just still there, proceeding on a 2,000-kilometer front, and has just effectively destroyed the Ukrainian military in Kursk. I don't think Putin cares. I agree with you. I don't think he cares.
No, I mean, I tell you, and I don't want to sound like too macho or guy or something. I'm an ex-cop, but I'm just a guy. Every time I see some European leader, he's crying. You know what I mean? I'm watching this guy in Germany, and like J.D. Vance, gives him what for? He gives him a punch. And I'm thinking, all right, he's a German guy, man. He's going to get on the mic. He's going to, it's going to be like a hip hop battle, right? He's going to get, the guy gets up there, he's crying, I can hear my feelings. I'm like, oh, dude. I don't know what kind of neighborhood you grew up in. You ain't getting no respect. If you're crying on the microphone, your lunch money is gone. You're going to be hungry every single day. Somebody's taking your lunch money. And I'm sure Trump started rubbing his head together. And then Trump says, yes, Justin Trudeau came to my office and he cried. And I'm like, these guys, I don't want to sound like I'm I guess they're going to say, oh, Garland's misgendering people or something on moats. I guess my name is Mud, with the woke people. I'm just saying, dude. Trump's going to take your lunch money. He's from Queens, and you're crying all the time. I don't know. Maybe it's too much schnitzel. Maybe schnitzel makes you emotional or something. I don't know what it is.
Schultz didn't look good with Joe Biden either. And Joe Biden is the weakest, president in history of presidents, right? And yet he's like, we're going to blow up the pipeline if Russia goes in. It blows up. And none of them can say it. None of them can just say, unless Joe Biden is a psychic, we did it. They can't say it. They don't have the courage to say it. Root, same thing. He goes there, gets emasculated by Trump. Justin Trudeau. And Starmer, same thing, right? Where he turns to Starmer and says, you can beat the Russians, right? Like, he gets sick of Starmer running his mouth. Because Starmer is like, yeah, America and our relationship is very close. And Trump just, hey, you can beat the Russians, right? And everybody laughs. They use British weakness as a punchline in the context of the conflict. It's just astonishing. These guys have this colonial mentality that they have clung to like grim death. It's over, bro. It's over. Accept it. It's over. You're not a world player in this.
There's no way back, man. Like Europe has really got to get new leaders, because if you got like Starmer, Justin Trudeau, you might as well he cries enough. He might as well be a European leader. If you cry like that, I think you could probably win in Germany right now. There must be like some contest who can cry like you're trying out for a part, in Hollywood or something, who can look the weakest. It's pretty pathetic. And that ain't what you want to do when you're dealing with a guy from Quick. I just don't think Witkoff, these kind of guys don't respect him. But at any rate, Jamarl Thomas, tell people where they can find you online.
Jamarl Thomas Show on YouTube, and also on Twitter at Jamarl Thomas.